Morning, April 16th, 2025, Marathon, Ontario. Mile 64 on the Heron Bay subdivision. Got 118 coming up, going into the siding to meet 113. Gonna be a beautiful day here along the North Shore.
CP detector, mile 65.9, Heron Bay, -4 degrees. Axle 370, no alarms. Mile 65.9, out.
And eastbound comes into view, passing the old 6,700-foot siding in the foreground, with the abandoned rail yards from the pulp mill sitting on the south side of the main track. The recording you just heard is from a wayside inspection device located at mile 65.9 of the Heron Bay subdivision, adjacent to Carden Cove, giving off a good reading. Train 118 will take the siding ahead to meet westbound hotshot 113. East of Heron Bay, at mile 56, the railway turns away from the lake and begins a steady climb east out of the Lake Superior Basin towards White River. For about 15 miles, the terrain flattens out from Pringle to Heron Bay. Zone speed here is 60 miles per hour, with westbounds often cruising along this stretch of the line descending into Heron Bay. Canadian Pacific crosses the frozen Black River just west of mile 50 of the Heron Bay sub at the former station known as Melgund. This much shorter and well-powered up version of 118 is doing an excellent speed, climbing east out of Heron Bay. After getting a quick grab shot here at Melgund, we head east to one last location at the top of Hemlow Hill at mile 39.5 of the Heron Bay sub, where the main line curves around Cache Lake. Listen after the train clears as we are at the next hotbox detector east. Barrick Gold's Williams Mine and Hemlo operations are off in the distance as we pan across the frozen landscape.
CP detector, mile 39.5, Heron Bay, -4 degrees. Axle 370, no alarms. Mile 39.5, out.
10:30. We're at Neys, mile 81 on the Heron Bay sub. That was 118 we caught at mile 50.2, Black River, and Cache Lake, mile 39.5 over the hotbox. I'm gonna have 106 coming up here shortly, the auto train. From the scenic lookout off the side of the Trans-Canada Highway, we see eastbound vehicle train 106 twisting out of Middleton, crossing the trestle over the Little Pick River, with just under 10,000 feet of rocks about to climb Neys Hill. Enjoy the views as we go aerial after the head end disappears below.
No EOT on either of those units, so you're going slow?
No, the director asked us to see if we had an extra EOT for 104. They apparently needed to take one to Shaplow, but we didn't have any on board here.
Okay, sounds good. No EOT on you guys. Can I have engineers' permission to restore to stop signal 741 Coldwell West? I'd like to put you in the siding if I can. 741 Coldwell.
Restore signal 742B, over.
sorry. Can I have engineers' permission to restore to stop signal 741, 741, Coldwell East, over.
Engineer's permission, 741, 741, Coldwell East, over.
Meaning, 104 that I'm pushing to Marathon for 101, and they are coming through Terrace Bay right now.
Through Terrace Bay, okay, sounds good. Yeah, crew'd like to give notice to be an off at 10, please.
So you were on at 9 o'clock, done at 1900, correct?
Correct.
Okay, very good, thank you. Alright.
8831, Western.
After getting a bad light for a TOP ahead, westbound manifest train 421 departs Marathon, heading around Peninsula Bay and over to the siding at Coldwell to meet 104, who we will see next. About an hour and change later, we are down at Carden Cove, a few miles west of Marathon, as we pan across Peninsula Bay and down Carden Cove Beach. CPKC 4400 CWM 8209 comes into view, leading a reprofiled train number 100, now a 104 ex-Medicine Hat, Alberta. An all too common occurrence on the CPKC changing train IDs.
Axle 444, no alarms. Mile 65.9 out.
Spring is a beautiful time along the North Shore and, of course, on CPKC Railway's Transcontinental Main Line and its Heron Bay subdivision between White River and Scriber. The final train of the video comes into view at mile 65, westbound Toronto to Vancouver Hotshot Train 101.